Hello, hello. You're in the reaction room with Reese.
Today's recap is Season 2, Episode 114 and 115. Let's jump right into it. Here's what's going on beyond the gates. We start off at the hospital. The doctor tells Ted and Nicole that Kat's blood pressure is elevated and she can't breathe on her own, but it could be a reaction to the anesthesia. He says they're going to keep a close eye on her. Nicole tells Ted this can't be happening. Meanwhile, Kat is having a weird nightmare where no one can see her, and she sees Ted telling Nicole that he's leaving her for Leslie. Eva tells Leslie she wants to see Kat so she can thank her for saving her life. She says, "I owe her." And then Leslie says, "I owe her everything." Danny goes and checks in on Nicole. She tells her that the whole family is sending prayers and love to Kat. She says, "You got Kat, and we got you." In Kat's dream, she finds out that Leslie is pregnant with Ted's baby, and they're happy together. Then she goes over to the Dupree house, and Nicole is upset because she's pregnant with a child she doesn't want, and Ted is starting a new family. Back at the hospital, Ted tells Kat to fight with everything in her to come back to them. Martin comes to the hospital for an update on Kat, but she's still not awake. Back to Kat's dream. Ted and Leslie tell Nicole that Kat can't go with them to take Martin and Eva to the amusement park. Nicole says, "I know you want to get rid of us, but we're not going anywhere." And then Ted tells her it's time for her to move on. Ted tells Eva and Leslie that Kat is unresponsive and suffering from post-op complications. Eva says, "How am I sitting here and Kat's the one in trouble?" In Kat's dream, Tomas is dating Eva, and she and Chelsea have created a product line called Chiva. And then they see Nicole all over some guy. Martin says he's done with his mother. And then Eva tells them that Kat is jealous of her and their lives would have been better off if she'd never been born. Then she turns to Kat and says, "Hurts, doesn't it?" And then Kat runs into Ted at the country club, and he can see her. So she tells him about her nightmare, and she says she gets Eva now, and she's okay with sharing him with her because it's better than losing him. He gives her a hug, and then Kat finally wakes up. At the nurse's station, Ted is telling Shanice that he is so proud of Kat. Then they hear alarms coming from Kat's room. Madison examines Eva. She says all of her numbers are normal. Eva tells her she feels terrible that Kat had all those complications from anesthesia. Madison says it's not your fault. Ted and Shanice run into Kat's room, and as it turns out, she's just trying to get out of the bed. She tells Ted she needs to see Eva. At the Dupree house, Vernon overhears Anita canceling her appointment with the oncologist. When he asks her why, she says she needs to help take care of Kat when she comes home. But Vernon convinces her to keep her appointment. Anita says, "It's so annoying when your husband is always right." Andre asks Danny why has she had trouble sleeping since the tornado, and she admits that thoughts of that night keep popping into her brain. He says, "I can help you get your mind back to the here and now." Meanwhile, over at Bill's office, he's thinking about that night too, and Naomi hears him say Danny's name. Bill tells her she's the only woman he's thinking about. Naomi says, "It sure seems like you have Mom on your mind." Leslie comes to the hospital with a wad of cash. She wants to give to everyone who helped with Eva. But Shanice tells her, this is a hospital, not a restaurant. You don't need to tip. Then Ted tells her to donate the money to charity. Tomas asks Chelsea to meet him at Orphy Jean's, and he tells her that he's going to propose to Kat, but she doesn't think it's a good idea. Tomas says he knows how fragile life is. It's time to act. Ted brings Kat into Eva's room, and he leaves the two of them alone. And then Eva thanks Kat for saving her life. And she admits that in the past, she was gaslighting her and playing the victim. Chelsea calls Madison and tells her to come to Orphy Jean's. And then she tells her about Tomas. Madison says, what's the problem? Back at the hospital, Kat tells Eva about her dream. And Eva says, so it was your worst nightmare. And Kat tells her she understands her better now. And then Eva says if it was the other way around, she would have given her a piece of herself too. Chelsea tells Madison that Tomas is proposing because he almost lost Kat, and he's panicking. Madison says, kinda like when I was gonna move to Denmark and you proposed. I think that worked out pretty well. Shanice takes Kat back to her room, and then Eva tells Ted he's been too focused on making up lost time with her, and he needs to spend more time with Kat. She said, choose her this time. Back at Orphy Jean's, Chelsea tells Naomi that Tomas wants to propose to Kat. She says it's gonna be hard to talk him out of it. And then Chelsea says Kat was just pressured into having surgery. Now somebody else will be putting pressure on her to do something that she doesn't want to do. At the hospital, Leslie comes into Kat's room, and when she tries to call the nurse, Leslie snatches the remote out of her hand. Kat tells her, I'm not afraid of you. But Leslie says she wants to thank her for saving Eva. She said no one has ever done what you've done for me. Kat tells her, I hear you, but when the time is right, I will collect my debts. And that's how the show ended. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.